all the arrangements are in place for counting of votes in the 150 divisions of GHMC elections that were conducted on December 1st. For every 14,000 votes will be counted as one round. As many as 8,152 personnel will be participating in the counting exercise, and in all counting centers have been set up at around 30 locations, and depending on the number of wards in each circle, 150 halls have been set up, and there will be 14 tables in each hall, and 31 observers will be monitoring the proceedings. The entire counting exercise will be monitored through surveillance cameras and recorded as well, and at each table surveillance cameras have been installed to ensure the transparency in the exercise. And before commencing to the ballot of paper votes, postal ballot will be counted as 1,926 postal ballots have been issued, and mobile phones or any other electronic gadgets will not be permitted into the counting centers, according to the officials. And as we can see, Hyderabad Commissioner of Police Anjan Kumar Yadav had also come in front of the media and stated that no victory rallies would be taken place in the next 48 hours. And as we can see on the numbers on screen, BJP is already on the lead with 50, following TRS with 28, and AIMIM with 12, and Congress standing with 1 seat. As the counting begins, the counting had started early as in Medipatnam. The counting of postal ballots started in Medipatnam Center, and it is expected that the results from the Medipatnam Center would be out soon, as only 11,818 votes were only polled in the Medipatnam Center, which is now expected to be out with the results very soon. And all counting agents and officials are strictly instructed to wear masks. All sanitizers have been kept in each table in all the centers that have been allocated, keeping in view that we are in the middle of the pandemic. Officials have taken enough care to keep sanitizers on every table, and all the counting agents and officials are directed to wear masks while they are at the job. And the counting of postal ballots have already started at the Medipatnam Center. Results from the Medipatnam divisions are likely to be announced early before other divisions, as only 11,818 votes were only polled in that divisions. Cameras have been set up in all the centers with 31 surveyors in each hall, monitoring all the counting for transparency. And as we can already see, the BJP is leading, standing with 50 seats, and followed by TRS with 28, followed by AIMIM standing on 12 seats, and Congress with 1 seat. The great battle for Hyderabad has almost begun. It has become a prestige battle for these 3 key parties: the ruling TRS, the BJP, which is trying to make inroads into Telangana, and the AIMIM party, where we can already see that the BJP has kick-started off with the lead with 50 seats already, and TRS following with the lead of 30, and AIMIM following TRS with the lead of 12, and Congress is still standing at 1. There are almost 8,152 personnel were assigned for the counting of votes, and around 1,100, the fate of 1,122 candidates out of 150 divisions rely on today's results. The position for mayor for this election has been reserved for a woman this year. For this time, no electronic gadgets and other mobile phones are strictly prohibited in the counting centers. All the counting agents and and officials are directed to wear masks, keeping in mind of the COVID protocol. Sanitizers are kept on every counting table in all the division, all the counting sectors, and there are many security has been given to keep in view of the surveillance of the counting sectors, to keep a transparency. Well, the counting of votes have begun in Hyderabad for the GHMC elections that have been conducted on December 1st. As we can look into our visuals, the ballot box have come out. Many centers, as much as 13 counting locations in around 150 counting centers have been set up. And as we can look at the visuals, the ballot boxes have come out, and all the counting agents along with the officials are taking out the votes that are needed to be counted. Counting in Medipatnam Center have already begun, and the result from Medipatnam division likely to be declared early, as only 11,818 votes were polled. And as we can see in the visuals, all the officials and the counting agents are following COVID protocols by wearing masks and sanitizers at each table. Around 8,152 personnel were deployed for counting of these votes that have been counting of these votes, on which the future of 1,122 candidates of 150 divisions depends on. And as I stated earlier, the mayor's seat this time is saved for a woman leader in this election. And 14,000 votes is considered to be as one round of counting this time. And the Hyderabad Commissionerate of Police had come out and stated to the media that no victory rallies are allowed until the next 48 hours, and cameras have been set up on these counting tables and as well as the counting centers to maintain transparency, and 31 surveyors are deployed in each hall of the centers in each hall to maintain to monitor the counting of paper vote ballots and to maintain transparency. The officials have also set up cameras on each table to maintain the transparency of the counting. No electronic gadgets are allowed inside of the counting halls, or mobile phones are prohibited inside of the counting halls. All counting agents and officials are directed to wear masks, and sanitizers are kept on the tables of the counting, keeping in view of the COVID. The counting of postal ballots have begun before the counting of the paper ballots, as the counting of these ballots are postal ballots have begun. And Medipatnam Center, result from Medipatnam division likely to be declared early, as 11,818 votes were only polled, and the seat for the mayor this time is reserved for a women leader. This comes across as a prestige polling for the ruling TRS party in the state and for BJP, which had recently won the Dubaka Assembly polls. And with the same enthusiasm, leaders from union leaders have visited for campaigning in Hyderabad for elections. Amit Shah, JP Nadda, Yogi Adityanath have also visited to campaign for these elections, which took place on December 1st. And December 1st was an unimpressive voter turnout, as there was only 46.55% of voter turnout, which is 34.50 lakh. Well, the voting count, the count of voting has begun in all the centers.